Alrighty, welcome back. We are doing the next story quest. It is called The Last Bastion, given to us by Jullus, a man we have recently met within the past two story quests. It's been a while, been a few days. We are with Elfino and Alice as well. We are kind of in the south middle area of Garlemald, Isolbard maybe. I think Isolbard's the continent and Garlemald's the whatever. But we are kind of close to Liminal Station 4. Here we go. I do not remember what his name is, or sorry, what his voice sounds like, so I'm going to make it up. From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen, says Alphino. Aye, they spare their own, but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you're to fight them off. Those too will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. With that said, let us proceed. I feel like I'm remembering his accent is actually not British. Not that I could ever say that my British accent is British, but it's the best I could do. But I have this feeling in my mind that he was not British. All right, we got two, looks like Garlean guards that are attacking. I did some calculations once, and I do not think it is for tanks. I think that they do. No, wait, sorry, it's the opposite. So for DPS, you actually do get better damage over time doing AoE on 2 or more targets. But for tanks, I think it's 3 or more. So I kind of messed it up. That's fine. So 2 Tempered Imperials attack us. Talk to Jullus again. I see why your comrades chose you. Jullus, our contingent has a cure for the affected, or tempered as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? For all I know, your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They're beyond saving. Those who thought differently and tried to reason with them were butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. I possibly should go back to another video to see if they have I think they do have a voice actor for him the first time you meet him. But I don't remember. There's another purple circle with 2 more guards. Let's do the AoE route. Does seem a bit quicker. I think, show me like a memory in my head. Okay, Jullus again. Looks like we're not being followed. We will continue onward. Keep going east. Past some like puck traps that look, they're ice traps. They're frosty because this is again a very snowy zone. Is this like a derailed train? Is that what he mentioned? Did he mention a derailed train earlier? I don't know. Doesn't matter. We have 2 already dead Imperial tempered soldiers. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered. And that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. We travel with Jullus and the twins along an abandoned railway fending off attacks from Tempered Imperials. Sorry, I don't actually have to speak out loud while I'm typing. I just do it for your benefit, so you know like what the delay is, why it is. What are these guys? Saiga, S-A-I-G-A, kind of like snow antelopes ish. We're going under, I think, a double pipeline. That's what it looks like, at least to me. What is in the pipe could be. It could be a subway. Yeah, like, you never know. It probably isn't. It could be probably like oil or whatever, water. These guys, Tempered Imperials, they look like they're very corrupted. Like, how the heck would you describe this? They have like purple, jagged bits growing out of them in their head, neck. They have like claws now instead of holding like hands holding weapons. Kind of like almost tentacle-y, but they're more rigid. The bits that come off their head. Look at what they have become. Would you still stand there and claim that they can be cured? Well, that one probably not. Those exposed to a vast quantity of a primal's ether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you have seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. He just... You weren't even listening. He said if it goes on too long, they're beyond saving. The ones we killed before those two were in theory quite savable. Salvageable? Whatever. Capable of being saved? That's a long way to say it. Boring. And here we have it says Regio Domorum. We have a fence, kind of a thick fence, but you could theoretically run through it if the game would allow you to. And then kind of like buildings, barracks maybe, grain storage maybe, towers for defense. We're almost there. You have kept your side of the agreement, so I will keep mine. This way. Got some cerulean sprites, which are just ice sprites, blizzard sprites, whatever, frost sprites, cold sprites. Jullus is standing in front of, I don't see the twins right now, but Jullus is standing in front of that, what I thought was possibly barracks, is actually, it leads underground. It's kind of like if you were to drive into an underground parking facility. This is Tertium, T-E-R-T-I-U-M, Tertium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I will be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. And we do go down, down, down. Passing... Is that a kobold? No. Theodora. Oh, come on, mount. Get out of my way. There's a woman tending to a man who's fallen on the ground. But she's not part of the quest, so... Moving on. There's another untargetable NPC kind of like leaning against the wall here. Not looking great. Okay, here's Alphino Alice at the base of the ramp. Cutscene. I doubt they'll talk, but it'd be nice if they did. It's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. Alice folds her arms and... They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, and if Jullus was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. It that the moroseness, the overall countenance, two words I don't use very much. I think I'm using countenance correctly. Hold on. Oh no, gosh dang it, Hulu, I forgot you do this.
Whoa.
I'm picking back up on Archer. I made it through like 8 seasons and didn't even really know there were more. But countenance, face or facial expression. Well, okay, no. So no, because you can't really see their faces. I thought it was more of like a body language kind of thing. Um, food supplies, all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. And Jullus arrives. Lower your voices. While you may be here as my guest, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in the locomotive, over there. There's indeed a train, unmoving. Or the cabins of a train. A train, yeah. Uncolorful on the outside, just kind of a dull metallic gray. The inside at least has benches of red, upholstered. And that's about it. Some tables inside too. Looks like they're making them sleeping quarters too, so there are cots and people lying on the benches and the cots. Inside, what theoretically could be the leading car is Jullus and an imposing commander. Cutscene.
These are their chosen representatives.
Okay, so my mod, yeah.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
I made his voice more like his voice as I progressed through this video, because I don't remember him being British, so yeah, I was right.
Yes, sir.
Well, British-ish, British-ish.
I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Van Kina, Legatus of the First Legion.
The first? I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye.
So, facial hair, no mustache at all. Like, part of the beard curves up a little bit above, like a tiny, tiny bit out of the normal, like, kind of chin strap kind of thing. But that's it. No beard at all. But kind of lightish, yellowish, whitish hair of a beard that probably goes an inch and a half, 2 inches long, goes all the way up to the side of the face. Like, the ear is only covered a little bit by some strands of like head hair, not beard, but the sideburns go all the way up, match the hair. The hair is on the sides, it's just flowing back, same color as the beard. The length in the back probably goes to about mid-neck. On top, it is sticking up with a few strands that kind of hang loosely over the forehead and eyes. Kind of tannish skin, which is kind of interesting for this region, being so cold and probably sunless for most of the time. But he's wearing armor.
In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
Armor that kind of points him out as a high-ranking official of the Empire, or used to be at least.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable.
I think he's the first. We find the hideout of the Imperial defectors and have a chat with the leader of the First Legion. I think he's the First Legion. I'll make sure down the line here.
Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. 'Twas only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and Empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varus understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat.
Or maybe the reward would be the end of the Telophoroi, which is a threat to everyone. Do you not understand that? Do you not know everything yet?
And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost.
Excuse me.
All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it?
What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
He thinks for a bit.
Answer me this, young peacemakers.
Quintus. I'm probably going to forget that.
If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald?
They both look a
Is
little
it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not?
I thought it was because, and they might answer this, but I thought it was because you all chose to kind of say, we're your rulers now, and if you, like in the attempt to unify the world and defend it, but if you don't like the way we rule, tough cookies. A lack of freedom?
Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils.
A lot of that is pretty true.
That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter.
A bunch of soldiers, like, brandish their weapons at us.
You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you, if you cooperate.
Alphino, Alice, and myself put up our hands.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition.
I was gonna say, you're the leader, you've made a decision, and you would allow the envoys from who you believe to be your enemy to just talk freely with your men? Theoretically, to convince them to desert or revolt or mutiny or try to convince you otherwise?
Collar them.
What, to remove magic? Like anti-magic collars? That's a thing we've had in this game, right? Before? Right?
What are these?
Maybe not.
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock.
Oh, they're not collars at all. They're just like little, like lapel pin. Not, like if you went to prom. Wait, is a boutonniere? Is that what I'm thinking of right now? No, that still goes on the chest. It's where a collar would be, but it's just like a pendant. It kind of looks like it's got bat wings or dragon wings, a weird ovular face with like no eyes, no mouth, but like this kind of jagged line up the middle, and that's about all I can describe. There's also two red glowing dots on below each wing.
Stop. Keep away from that one.
Oh, one of them tries to put that on me, and I guess no.
The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed.
The soldier that was approaching me takes a step back. There's some murmuring outside.
Even if she allowed herself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If she refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
Smart. Makes me a tad angry, but the twins turn to me.
You needn't worry about us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for?
The removal of a world-ending threat, dude. Like, what don't you get? Oh, my options are, because even the most bitter adversary may one day see reason, or on the coldest, blackest of nights, meager though it may be, we must share the warmth of our fire. Oof, those are both pretty good, actually. Hold on. Oh, the second one is a little bit better, because I don't want to make them, keep popping into their head that we're bitter adversaries. On the coldest, blackest of nights, meager though it may be, we must share the warmth of our fire. Close my eyes for a second. I think that's Horseful one of our allies from the Dragon Song Wars that died.
You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be.
Yeah, dude. Those painters are dumb.
You will be their warden. Take them away.
He says this to Jullus, who's wide-eyed,
Yes, sir.
but does his salute. We follow Jullus out as the cutscene goes black and ends. That is the end to the last Bastion, level 82 quest, by the way. And hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. I'm at least going to do one more, maybe more.